Welcome to Rome. We're live here on day 2. It's not day 7 actually, but it's the men's finals for the Modern Pentathlon World Championships 2012. These are the 52nd World Championships, and I'm sure a lot of you out there are already looking at the results as they stand. We are going to be bringing you some highlights very shortly, but for those of you who want to know exactly how things stand, then basically here it is. These are the live results after 2 events, and we will be bringing you some fencing and swimming highlights very shortly. But there you see, Amro Jaziri of Egypt leads the way. 2 Russians, Moiseev and Lesson, the double Olympic champion, current world and European champion, a very decorated man, in 2nd place. World number 1, Alex Lesson, in 3rd. And then some very interesting names further down the list. Here is page 2. And one to note there, Nicola Benedetti in 17th, only 56 seconds behind. He had a great fence. So you see there that he finished in 4th in the fencing. But as constantly happens, his swimming is not really up to it. And he has a few issues with the swimming, which we've seen over the years. But if he can have a good ride, he is electric on the combined event. Here's page 3. And Sergei Karyakin, probably the most notable name there. The 2010 world champion is extremely unlikely to add 2012 to his repertoire. And apologies if you're having a little trouble hearing me. I'm just going to turn up my audio a little bit, so hopefully you can hear me a little bit better here. But we're just going through the results. And it's another beautiful day here in Rome. Absolutely wonderful. People were talking about potentially there was going to be rain here today, but that certainly has not happened. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to entertain you with a little bit of the riding has just started, but rather than show you some of the lower athletes, we're going to stick to the top 18. So we're going to show you some highlights from the fencing, and we're going to probably pick up, we've got about an hour's worth of fencing to show you, plus 20 minutes worth of swimming. So we're going to go into the fencing, and then we'll come out of the fencing once we've got ourselves sorted out and ready for the top 18 of the ride. And then we always have a gap after that, and we'll probably go into some other action. In fact, what we'll do is we'll have to pick up our TV feed for international TV, so you'll be able to watch the riding twice, you lucky things, for the top 14 or so athletes. But we're going to get ready for that right now. So here is some of the action from the fencing earlier today. Sit back and enjoy. It's we did this in Hungary as well, when we were able to choose the TV piece. And it was great to view. So here we are, Andrei Moiseev on the left and Ilya Frolov on the right. First bout of the day. And a touch for Frolov. You can see that the head-to-heads there were absolutely level. It's the first bout. They haven't even started yet in the competition. And a victory for Frolov. First bout of the day. Alex Lesson, the world number 1 on the left, winner of World Cup number 2. And on the right, Sergei Karyakin, the 2010 world champion. Alex Lesson with always that interesting style of his, hugging the right-hand side of the piste, trying to come in round the outside. And Karyakin making a move on Lesson, who steps off piste. That was an interesting little manoeuvre. Head-to-heads, it's 5-2. It's now 6-2 as Lesson gets the touch. And a victory for the world number 1, who must be one of the favourites for gold here today. So here we go. It's Alexander Lesson, the world number 1 on the left, and Ilya Frolov, 2008 world champion, on the right. You can see Lesson has a very good head-to-head record over Frolov. And this could well be a double pointer. World Cup number 1 winner on the right, World Cup number 2 winner on the left. It doesn't really get any better than this, does it? Very, very high quality match. And it really wouldn't be a surprise if both of these were picking up medals at the end of the day. Here we are. It's only just gone 8:30 in the morning. And gold and silver could be decided in this one bout. It's quite incredible. Frolov, an experienced fencer, very well trained in fencing. Lesson, who's come from nowhere, has fencing as one of his specialist skills. And he wins that one. Alex Lesson gets the hit on the wrist of Ilya Frolov, and a victory for the youngster. The quality continues to stay at the same level. It's Sergei Karyakin who comes in with a flesh attack and catches Moiseev cold. And a victory for the 2010 world champion. Moiseev's not sure what's going on. He's trying to wake himself up. But Sergei Karyakin, world champion from 2010 in Chengdu, China, gets the victory and 24 points. Well, we have a real big battle here. World number 1 on the left, Alexander Lesson, winner of World Cup number 2. And on the right, doesn't get much bigger than the double Olympic champion, Andrei Moiseev. Trying to just get that little touch. That's Moiseev's style. Lesson's style. He's always looking for that little touch on the wrist, just a little prod here and there, looking for that weakness. And Russia, very strong in fencing. They dominate on the world level. Moiseev goes for the foot touch. And Moiseev gets the victory. He's happier man now after that earlier defeat with Karyakin. He's got his name on the board. And Andrei Moiseev gets the touch and 24 points. Sergei Karyakin on the left from Russia and Ilya Frolov on the right. The final round of matches here with these Russians. You can see Frolov dominate. This is not known as Karyakin's strongest event. It's probably his weakest, actually. 30 seconds on the clock. But Karyakin in the last World Cup in Rostov finished 5th in the fencing, really came well and just had some bad luck in the riding event. But I certainly felt that if he'd have not had that bad ride, he would have won the gold. So coming into some form just at an important time. And talking of time, we're down to 10 seconds. Double hit. There's a few Russian coaches here shouting out. I think there's quite a lot of support for... Oh, and a touch for Karyakin. As Frolov came in, he may smile, but it's a victory for Karyakin, and well, Frolov throws this electronic strap back. He can't believe that one. He really felt he should have won it. But that's the first round complete. So here we go. Second round of bouts here on our TV piece. And it's Stefan Kollner of Germany on the left, Adam Maroshi of Hungary on the right. Three all in head-to-heads, so not a lot between them. And these guys aren't messing around at all, are they? Getting stuck in very early on. Oh, a chance for Kollner. Marosi came in with a weak attack and a double hit. Marosi just stretches out the épée, gets it as straight as possible. You want to have every last millimetre on that épée. It might be the difference between victory and defeat. So halfway through this bout, Kollner moving around that piece, and a touch for Marosi. As Kollner left his arm out a little bit lazily on the left-hander, and Adam Marosi gets the touch. And 24 points on the board for a man who dominated the sport during 2009 and 2010. And he's a very happy man indeed. So Delf Bormann on the left, Robert Kaza on the right. Head-to-heads between these two in recent meetings, 3 apiece. So this is another one of those 50-50 bouts which could go either way if you look back at the history. So a victory for either athlete will give him a real boost here. Halfway through the bout, no major move yet from either player. Oh, Kaza gets the touch on the foot. As Hungarian cheers behind me. And a good start for the Hungarians. Robert Kaza, a high five with Marosi. And 24 points for the World Cup final winner from last year. So here we go, Stefan Kollner on the left, Robert Kaza on the right. Kollner has a 4-1 head-to-head lead over Kaza. And make that 5-1. It's been given by the official, who's convinced that Kollner was off the piste. And the official is saying, no, he was on as he touched. So Kaza will shake hands. It was close. He was certainly shooting off the piste as he got the hit. But the official was adamant that he was just on as he got the touch. And victory for Kollner. On the left, Delf Bormann of Germany. On the right, Adam Maroshi of Hungary. Marosi looked very good in qualifying here. This could be a big bout. Every 24 points. Oh, and a wrist touch for Bormann there. You could say possibly a little bit fortunate. I think it could have gone either way. But Bormann takes the victory. On the left, is Justinas Kinderis. On the right, Hong Jin-woo of Korea. Kinderis, one of the very accomplished athletes on the World Tour, has yet to qualify for the Olympic Games, so we'll be looking for a big push here. There's a victory for Hong, who's had a bad start so far, 0-3. I think that's his first victory of the day, and that's why he's having a little smile with matters. Kinderis not smiling at all. That could be a lethal blow for him with Olympic qualification. On the left, I think one of the oldest athletes still competing on the World Tour, Venus Kungolsas of Lithuania. On the right, Jung Jin-hwa of Korea. And, well, that one went Kungolsas' way. He's not exactly sure about it. A little bit of fortune. He still looks back just to double check that that red light was lit, and he'll take the points. Round of matches, Justinas Kinderis yet to get Olympic qualification, and Jung Jin-hwa of Korea on the right. Jung Jin-hwa actually had a good start, 2-1 in his first 3 bouts, very early on of course. Only another 32 bouts to go. And Kinderis, Olympic qualification hangs in the balance. Just under 30 seconds now. Koreans have coming up to 10 seconds. The Koreans really have taken to this sport so well in recent years. 5 seconds to go now. Oh, Kinderis gets a touch on the top of the head. And as Jung went down low, Kinderis actually touched him on the top of the head. And you don't see that sort of result very often, but a win for Kinderis. So here we are. Olympic qualification up for grabs. Michalek on the left, Benedetti on the right. Benedetti won World Cup number 3 in amazing style, and the secret of it was that he had a great fencing event. He really was superb in the fencing, finished 5th, and fencing and swimming are his worst events. If he can have a good performance in the fence, he could well be taking the gold medal here, and it would be a home gold medal that the Italians would remember forever. And Benedetti gets the touch. There's a big cheer here in the Italian crowd. They know how important it is for Benedetti to be getting fencing victories on the board. And so Nicola Benedetti, the winner from Hungary, is starting to get the roll going here in Italy. So a fascinating bout here on our main piece. David Svoboda of the Czech Republic on the left. And on the right, Hwang Woo-jin of Korea, who's had a great start. 3-0, but there's defeat as a flash attack from Svoboda, who, always a gentleman, has just throws the mask up in the air a bit. Maybe he thinks he got a bit lucky there. He has that sort of face that says, I got away with that a little bit. But David Svoboda, who's looking for an Olympic qualification spot, will be very pleased with that victory. So on the left, Mikhail Michalek of the Czech Republic. On the right, Hwang Woo-jin. And that bout was over before it started. That was, I think, officially, there was no time on the clock. The referee hadn't even started the clock. Hwang Woo-jin gets the victory. Voice is loud enough as it is. Here's David Svoboda on the left and Nicola Benedetti on the right. These two really chasing each other for Olympic qualification spots. Good start for Benedetti and Svoboda. And Benedetti gets the touch again. The same result as last time out. And this man, who doesn't have fencing as his strongest event, watch out for him. He could be a real threat when it comes to the combined event later on. If he can pick up more fencing wins, he could be a real threat to the leaderboard. So as far as the Brits are concerned, things have settled, and it is looking like these two, barring an injury, I think, that it will be these two athletes who will be competing at the Olympic Games. James Cook, not the best fencer around, but he has a 4-0 record. Well, make that 4-1, because Pier Paolo Petroni has just gone against a form book, much to the Italians' liking, and Jamie Cook is not having a good time. Just look at this stat on the bottom of the screen. He's 1-6 so far. He's not in a good place at all. So, next bout up. Both athletes switch. And it's Nicholas Woodbridge here up against Ricardo De Luca. De Luca leads in the head-to-heads. Italians do have some very strong fencing coaches. Woodbridge is actually leading the fencing at the moment. So he's had a brilliant start. Only one loss in his first 7 bouts. He really has got to grips with it, but it's 6-2 now, because another victory for Italy, and the Italians cheer. Well, I'm sure Nick Woodbridge would be happy if you told him that in his first 8 bouts he would be 6-2. He might not be looking too chuffed with life there, but I'm sure overall he's okay inside, and he's just trying to focus. On the left, James Cook from Great Britain. On the right, Ricardo De Luca of Italy. Head-to-heads are very, very tight indeed. But as you see, Cook having had a very poor start to the day. This is every win that Cook can get will be a bonus. He's the fastest swimmer in the field. Time is running down, 10 seconds to go. Cook gets the victory. He's pleased about that for sure. James Cook gets the win. And that will help him a lot. Nick Woodbridge on the left for Great Britain. Pier Paolo Petroni of Italy on the right. We've already got over 1,000 people watching in the chat. Well, watching the pictures. It's quite strange. Not many people actually participate in the chat, but don't worry. Woodbridge having a great time at the moment. 6-1 up in his first 7 bouts. We know he just lost one there, so make that 6-2. Oh, flesh attack from Woodbridge completely catches Petroni cold. And a victory for the British athlete, who really is in the zone at the moment. His fencing is very much underrated. We've seen him at the top of the leaderboard on more than one occasion. And Nick Woodbridge will be thrilled to be continuing his lead. So on the left, Delf Bormann of Germany. On the right, Mikhail Prokopenko, who is currently leading the competition. Well, there's a victory for Bormann, and despite the statistic on the screen, I can tell you that Prokopenko is leading. Delf Bormann on the left, Mikhail Prokopenko on the right. Prokopenko. Sorry, excuse me, Stefan Kolner is on the left, excuse me, and Mikhail Prokopenko on the right. Prokopenko doing very well in the head-to-heads. And currently leading the competition as well. Attack and a double hit. Well, now the time has run down. We have 2 seconds left. And Prokopenko's certainly going to be making a move here. He can't afford just to stand away. He wants to try and get every victory he can. Oh, but it's a no result. You don't see many of those too often. But neither player wins. And that is a bit of a blow for both of them. Needless defeat for both athletes. And here we go on our main piece. James Cook of Great Britain on the left. David Svoboda, who has a very good record against Cook, on the right. And you can see that James Cook currently in 36th place, bottom of the leaderboard, only 2 victories in 11. Svoboda doing well, and Svoboda getting the victory. It's a big moment for David Svoboda, who's currently undefeated against Cook. And James Cook has got so much to learn in this discipline. It could well cost him any chance of medals here and at the Olympics, but he's certainly a man to look forward to for the 2016 games in Rio. Woodbridge of Great Britain on the left, Mikhail Michalek of the Czech Republic on the right. Michalek has a 3-1 head-to-head lead over Woodbridge, but Woodbridge currently in first place with an 8-3 record, has had a brilliant morning so far. Of course, and make that 9-3, beautiful touch from Nick Woodbridge. Absolutely superb little move onto the arm. Michalek just blows his cheeks, not sure what hit him there. But a great performance from Nick Woodbridge. He really is looking very, very good indeed. I've just been told from the results desk that Jamie Cook has been docked 12 points for having issues with his épée on more than one occasion. Now, apparently 3 times he's got errors with what's called his travel. Not sure what that means. There's a victory for Michalek. But if anybody in the chat room can tell me what that travel means. But Jamie Cook definitely having a torrid time. The exact opposite of his teammate. So here's a big bout. 2 big names on the modern pentathlon world tour. Nicholas Woodbridge of Great Britain on the left. And David Svoboda of the Czech Republic on the right, and Svoboda has a 6-2 lead over Woodbridge. Woodbridge currently is leading the competition. And Svoboda gets the touch. Svoboda came in with the attack. Very sharp attack. They're having a little chat about it. The official discussing matters with them. And Nick Woodbridge says, well, I'm not really sure what happened there, but I'll accept it. And Svoboda says, yeah, that was my victory. Nothing to challenge. Back to the action here on our main piece. Blagoj Dimitrov of Bulgaria on the left, and on the right, Dmitry Meliak of Belarus. These guys have Dimitrov in 11th place at the moment, but Meliak not having a good time of it at all. In 32nd place, well down the field. "20 seconds to go. Dimitrov certainly the aggressor. You can see he's the better fencer. Meliak really on the defence here in that corner, being pushed back into the corner. 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and 1 second to go. And now, unfortunately, we're going to have to go through this rigmarole now of waiting for the clock to go down, which I'm not really a fan of. So here we go. A minute later, we're down to 2 seconds on the clock. Oh, and nothing comes out of it. Incredibly, it's another no result. And another waste. I think that's the second one we've seen. Actually, no, Prokopenko was the other one. And Prokopenko currently not here. I think he may have gone to the toilet, but a double defeat, no points for anybody. On the left, Thomas Daniel of Austria, one of those athletes who's yet to qualify for the Olympic Games. On the right, he was leading earlier on today, but he's dropped down. He's currently in 6th place, Mikhail Prokopenko of Belarus. Oh, there's an attack, a double hit, and Daniel is so frustrated with himself. He really felt that bells are ringing here for Thomas Daniel. This is a really big event for him. Olympic qualification is a possibility. And Thomas Daniel, yes, puff of the cheeks, 24 points for him. Blagoy Dimitrov of Belarus on the left, and Mikhail Prokopenko, of Bulgaria on the left, excuse me. Terrible mistake to make. And Mikhail Prokopenko of Belarus on the right. As Italian cheers in the background, another Italian victory, and a victory for Dimitrov there, but no, not given. I think actually it was actually a double hit. So we just couldn't see the green light on from this camera. Another victory for Italy in the background. Oh, and an attack from Prokopenko, gets the touch, a green light. Things are going well for the Belarusian. His wife qualified for the London Olympics yesterday. He'll be hoping to do the same today. On the left here, Ismael Hernandez of Mexico. And on the right, Bent Demeter of Hungary. Hernandez has qualified for the Olympic Games. He's a real youngster. I'm not sure how old he is, but he only looks like a teenager. And he's in 11th place here in the fencing. So fencing, one of his real skills. But it's Demeter who gets the victory there. And the youngster Hernandez just looks up. He's got a lot more to come for him in this sport, that's for sure. Dmytro Kopolyansk of Ukraine on the left. Bent Demeter of Hungary on the right. Head-to-heads, Demeter slightly leads. And in fact, both of them have got identical records when it comes to the fencing results so far. Well, Kopolyansky misjudging that one. Trying to go down low for a foot touch, but Demeter avoided it. Came in with the attacking manoeuvre and gets the victory. The final bout in this round, Ismael Hernandez, the 22-year-old Mexican who has qualified for the London Olympic Games. Qualified via the Pan Am Games, and he's having a great time in the fence. 11th place up against Alex Nobis of Germany, who's currently toiling a little bit down the field. And Hernandez comes in with the attack, and he's just too short for the big German. And a victory for the Mexican. And he's certainly having a good start to his day. He'll be very pleased with that. Kungolsas, the oldest athlete out there, still competing, still managing to compete and to get to world finals, which is quite amazing. The atmosphere here is quite electric. It's very early in the morning and fantastic to see. Well, there's a victory for Saberkasin. Kungolsas really is not sure what went wrong there at all. Born in 73, 39 years old, Edvinas Kungolsas. World champion from 2006. And will surely be retiring after this year. This is his big last effort for a final Olympic Games. And he's been a real legend of the sport. It's great to see Andreas Zadneprovsky earlier here, supporting Laura Sataskaite. Of course, they're married, and I'm sure he's here now watching these guys fly the flag for Lithuania. Here's Pavel Ilyashenko on the left and Edvinas Kungolsas on the right. An earlier attempt there, but a double hit. Ilyashenko doing well, he's in 8th place on the leaderboard. atmosphere building up here this morning. The cheers for the Italians are very loud in the background. They've got 3 athletes through to the final. And they fancy, chatting to one of the Italians earlier, they actually fancy they can take 2 medals here. They think De Luca and Benedetti can actually medal, and both have medalled, remember, in World Cups coming into this event. De Luca took bronze in World Cup number 2 in Rio de Janeiro, and of course Benedetti took the gold in Hungary. So Italians really on the up here for this event. Clock starting to run down, 10 seconds now on the board. And we get into this crazy time, and well, Krungolsas admitted there with his body language that he had a bit of luck on that one. There wasn't any real fencing skill, it was just a lucky touch, but he got it and he'll take the points. Rustin Saberkazin on the left. And Justinas Kindris, who's really trying to hunt down an Olympic medal at the moment, on the right. Both athletes in the lower reaches of the leaderboard at the moment. It's not been a good day for either of them. Halfway through the bout. And a touch for Kinderis. Saberkazin not having a good round there, and the Lithuanian takes victory. Here we go on our main piece. Amro El Ghaziri of Egypt on the left. Here is Omar El Ghaziri of Egypt up against Han Ji Hao of China. Haven't seen a lot of Han before. So here we go on our main piece. Amro El Ghaziri on the left, doing very well in the fencing. These two have never fought before. First ever meeting. And Esteban Bustos of Chile, who's a very young, energetic young athlete. He's qualified for the London Olympics via the Pan Am Games. And he's already beaten Omar El Ghaziri. You can see he's very much an attacking fencer. Always looking for an opportunity. Always bustling, moving around. Well, there was an opportunity for sure. I think Bustos actually missed his attack. Double hit. 19 seconds to go on the clock. Amro El Ghaziri currently second place in the leaderboard on the left. And Esteban Bustos gets the victory. Oh, he is a happy man. He's just taken a big scalp there. Second place on the leaderboard, Amro El Ghaziri. And Esteban Bustos, the youngster from Mexico, takes the win. So here we go. Pavel Ilyushenko of Kazakhstan on the left. Jean-Max Baru of France on the right. And Ilyashenko is currently in 9th place. No messing around there. Flash attack straight away. And Jean-Max Barou just couldn't respond quickly enough. On the left, Rustim Saburkazin of Kazakhstan. And on the right, Christopher Pat, who's currently in 2nd place in the fencing. So the Frenchman having a really good time of it this morning. Possibly buoyed with confidence after taking the bronze medal at the World Cup number 4 in Russia, which was the last time out for these top athletes on the World Tour. And Christopher Pat, who is a strong runner, will be a threat with a good fence here today. Oh, well, on the defensive, Saburkazin came in with a big attack. He has a little laugh because he was a little bit out of distance, wasn't he, really? I think even I saw that one coming, and Christopher Pat definitely had it very easy to deflect him away and take the victory. Morosi and some of the Russians coming up on our piste in a while. Here's Ilyashenko versus Pat. Pat having a great time of it at the moment. In fact, this is a top of the table clash. Ilyashenko currently in 9th place and coming in with a very strong attack there and beating Pat. Solid attack from Ilyashenko, and Pat frustrated with that defeat. Currently in 2nd place in the competition. Double Olympic champion Andrei Moiseev of Russia, who's currently in 2nd place on the leaderboard. He really has come back to some incredible form after being in the wilderness for a couple of years coming into this. And then, oh, and a touch from Moiseev so early on, and Barou was caught sleeping there on that bout. And Moiseev gets the touch before, there's just 3 seconds on the clock. But I'm sure that was in the 1st second. Andrei Moiseev has a big smile on his face. He's, you don't see him smile too often, Mr. Moiseev. He must have enjoyed that victory very much. This really is a big battle. The 2008 world champion on the left and the bronze medalist from World Cup number 4, Christopher Pat of France. They're 4 each in head-to-head, so this could be a very tight encounter. And Frolov in 9th place, Pat in 2nd place. And Christopher Pat, not known for his fencing, he's doing what Nicola Benedetti's doing further out in the field. He's going well above his usual level on the fencing. Christopher Pat also very strong in the combined event, so really making a move here for a potential medal. Some of these athletes, a flesh attack from Pat, but Frolov. Well, welcome live. We have come live a little bit early on because I know a lot of you in the chat room can't wait to see this. And at the moment, we've got Stefan Kollner on screen. And 19th after 2 events. And we've just had our first clear round, which was great to see from Mikhail Prokopenko. We are live here in Rome, Italy, and we're going to be live now for the rest of the way through, so you're going to be able to enjoy the action here with us on pentathlon.org. So far, Kollner clear. And the commentators curse the first 20 points. And only does 20 points. And there's some strong German support here. Stefan Kohner just outside the top 18. If you joined us earlier, then you'll have seen that we showed you the leaderboard, and you'll have seen there's some very interesting names high up there for sure. It's going to be fascinating. So now we're into the top 18, and here comes Thomas Daniel. Thomas Daniel of Austria. And, well, of course, I know a lot of you are looking at pentathlon.org and you're getting updated results, so you guys are probably more updated with what's going on me than me. And I know a lot of you have downloaded the application, the mobile app for iPad, iPhone, Android phones, the lot. So you can keep up to date with live scores as each round is completed. So you're really up to date with what's going on. We've only seen the one clear. I'm just having a little look down the list. It's we've seen a lot of 1/180s, 1/160s. I think there's that fence again. It always seems to cause problems. I had a lot of problems with the women's event. And 60 penalty points so far here for Thomas Daniel, who's one of those athletes who has not qualified for the Olympic Games. So he's really wanted to make a big effort here and try and get one of those 3 spots that hasn't yet made it. So that was 1,136 points. Just a few time penalties there. And next up, Nicola Benedetti of Italy. This will be very interesting. This is a man who could still win the gold, even though he's so far down. He's less than a minute behind the leader. You can see that on the screen right now. 56 seconds. He's got a real opportunity because he produced a superb fence. He was 4th in the fencing, well above his normal standard, and that's giving him an inkling of a chance, but he needs to have a clear round. Maybe 20 points he can take, but he really can't have anything. Oh, that one touched, but it didn't come down. Could that just be the bit of luck? Benedetti's such a tall guy. This horse looks pretty small with him on top. Everybody's very silent here. This is a really big ride. And the problem fence, which has caused so many problems. Oh, there's one down. We're live here in Rome. 2 minutes to 4 in the afternoon, and it's a baking hot afternoon here in the Rome heat. And Benedetti just has 3 fences to jump. He will take 20 points. These are really big jumps here. 1, 2, and 3, and he's over them all. And the crowd are absolutely loving that one. That has put Nicola Benedetti in with a great chance of getting on the podium. And who knows, with his speed, he may even take the gold. The worst he will be behind is 1 minute and 1 second behind the leader. And he is capable of making that up. Incredible. Nicola Benedetti, only 20 points. He really has a chance here. A few clouds coming in the far distance, but nothing serious. And Nicola Benedetti just has 20 penalty points. And 1,180 he will be absolutely thrilled with. Well, just to look at the Rogues Gallery, I know we haven't covered the first round, and a lot of you are very keen followers. So many athletes who haven't had a great time out there. James Cook only scored 928 points. Omar El Jaziri, who remember was doing very well in Russia until he came up in the ride. Well, he wasn't doing so well here today. In any case, had a really bad day, and 840 points in the ride anyway. Here's Michal Michalek of the Czech Republic in 16th place coming into this event. Nobody else really worthy of a mention, just Mikhail Prokopenko, who went clear. So just the one fence down so far for Michalek. The Italians here very excited about Pier Paolo Petroni, who's due to come as well. Petroni in 6th place. And Riccardo De Luca has already gone. And De Luca, that one was a very low jump. Really didn't judge that one too well at all. And that one as well. Now, those are rider errors, those are. The horse has not been brought to the fence at all with a good distance. That was a lot better. So 3 fences down, and Michalek already drops a fair distance. You can see he's already down to 20th place. And it's quite tightly packed, the field there. You can see all the times are pretty much together. And Michalek sheds 80 penalty points in the end there. And that will put him down to 21st place. Seems to have a bit of trouble getting the horse under control. And Michalek leaves the arena. Here is Adam Morosi, who was very disappointed indeed with his fence. It really didn't go very well for him at all. Adam Morosi, former world champion from Crystal Palace in Great Britain, 2009. And clear so far. He's a very good rider indeed. 52 seconds behind the leader. He will fancy himself if he can have a clear here. We've only had one clear so far. And this won't be a clear. That's the first fence down. Big jump sees the final three. Needs to try and clear them. And he does. So just 20 penalty points for Adam Morosi. And he's going to be within 1 minute of the leader when we come to the end of the competition, when we get to the combined event. So 1,180 points for Adam Morosi. And the Hungarian exits the arena. And here comes Edvinas Krungolsas of Lithuania. Very, very experienced athlete. The 2006 world champion. We really do have some great former world champions here. And Edvinas is certainly one of them. We're starting to get towards the business end of the results table. You can see the athletes above Krungolsas coming up. Some very interesting names in there for sure. So much experience behind this man. 39 years old. Quite incredible to see him still competing here. The oldest man still competing in pentathlon at a world level. And of course Andrzej Zadneprovski was pretty close to him. Oh, that was all wrong, and seems to be just trying to get this horse round. I get the feeling they're not actually really in sync. But Edvinas is just trying to be very careful. And he's not trying to push the horse round. He's letting it go at its own pace. 60 penalty points. And you can see there's a few athletes. Stefan Korner, Han from China, Benedetti, Prokopenko, all moving up. Just the final fence down. So Krungolsas drops down to equal 9th place with Thomas Daniel. And, well, 80 penalty points when you're starting mid-table has probably just put him out of contention here. And Edvinas Krungolsas departs the arena. So our next athlete in, Bence Demeter from Hungary, 13th place after 2 events. Of course, he's brother Gurgly Demeter was competing recently at the last couple of World Cups in Hungary and Russia. And I think Ben Demeter's the highest placed Hungarian. First fence down. And another, and that fence again just catching people out. We had a great day's entertainment yesterday. Last three fences. And I think we've only got the two down. If the officials they'll check their backup systems, but that looks to be pretty much just two fences. So 1,160 confirmed. When Ben Demeter leaves the arena. Next up, now Ben Demeter's horse only dropped two fences, and so had the next one, David Svoboda. His horse had been previously ridden by Dmitry Meliak, and also just dropped two fences down. So I think David Svoboda will be quite happy on this horse. It's a beautiful white horse coming into the arena with David Svoboda in 12th place after two events and looking to gain an Olympic place, of course. There are three places available for athletes who have not qualified for the Olympic Games so far. So, should be very interesting indeed. Murray Spence, Samantha Murray and Anastasia Prokopenko benefited from the rule in the women's final yesterday. And David Svoboda is looking around, but there's quite a few athletes just above him who are ahead in the queue. So this is an important ride for Svoboda. He will really be looking to do a very solid ride here. No problems here. This fence quite often has given problems. But the horse is jumping very well. Has its head down. But has a good look at the fence. And I think David Svoboda is very comfortable. He's just trying to keep the horse's head up. It really has a tendency to go down. You can see there's a bit of a tussle going on. But I don't think David's going to be too worried because at the moment he's clear. This could be an Olympic qualification ride for David Svoboda. Just the one fence. The middle fence in the triple. But the worst he's going to be is 56 seconds behind the leader. And he will be confident that he's right in the mix for finishing in a very strong position. So David Svoboda exits the arena. And next up, from Mexico, Ismael Hernandez Escanga. We tend to drop the surname on some of our graphics. Some of these names give us a bit of a nightmare, as you may see on the next shot coming up. 22-year-old from Mexico. And well, something's happened here. I think his helmet was just came undone. Now I know in riding they tend to penalise for things like that. So we might see what's going on. But I've not heard any penalties through yet from the results desk, so I think he's okay for that. This horse will give him a few worries, I must admit, though, because this horse was the horse that Esteban Bustos had from Chile, and Bustos ended up on the ground twice, and in the end only scored 400 points. So I think when Hernandez's helmet slightly came off, I think he wanted to make sure that he definitely had it on properly, having seen the last ride. I wouldn't blame him. Having said that, he is clear except for that one fence. Commentator's curse there. And well, that is a terrible fall, and I think he's hurt, and we're going to need some assistance here, I'm sure. We've got 80 points so far, but he's actually, well, I do apologise. Commentator's curse strikes big time there, but this horse has form of stopping, and it just happened there, and I think Hernandez actually hit his face into the side platform. We're not getting any replays from our host broadcaster at all, but he's definitely hurt, and I think he's going to need some assistance. Well, we're not going to see replays of this because I don't think we have a replay machine with our broadcast company here, but it's probably just as well on this occasion. That was quite a horrific fall, and his competition is well and truly over. And Hernandez came into this in 11th place. So that means there's going to be a lot of other people further down, all moving up, and Hernandez will accumulate some points, but almost certainly he won't be starting the combined unless he really manages to patch himself up well. But we always say that it's well worth looking, and my assistant Mark, who's been making notes all the way through the first round, you're the equivalent of Dennis Boucher, I'm afraid, today. And hello, Eli and Dennis, if you're out there. Maybe you're watching this. We are missing. We are going to get a score in a second. I think an ambulance may have been called here. He's obviously in a very distressed state. And thankfully, we're keeping the camera at a safe distance. Well, I am on the chat room. Please come to me and let's chat about whatever's going on out there in the world. I can see people are watching Premier League football. Arsenal are losing 2-1 to somebody. Why did I say what? Why did I say what? Oh, you mean my commentator's curse, yeah. 552 points he got in total there. So he's going to drop down. You can see on the left-hand side there, he's dropping down quite badly. And not that this actually matters here, because he is his day is finished. And in fact, Mr. Bustos from Chile, just below him. But I'll just hope that Ismael Hernandez is okay. Well, we've got many other athletes to come. In fact, we've got, going from top to bottom, Ammar El Jaziri number 1. Andrei Moisev in second. Alexander Lesson in third. And just to give you a warning on possible horses that didn't do so well in the first round, Alex Lesson is certainly going to be sweating, because the horse that John Max Baru had was the same horse, and he only finished with 1,048 points, so Lesson might be a little bit worried. Jung Jinhua of Korea, Pavel Ilyashenko of Kazakhstan, Pierpaolo Petroni of Italy, Huang Wujin of Korea, Nick Woodbridge of Great Britain, Ilya Frolov of Russia, and Christopher Pat of France. Now, just looking on this list, the next horse up was with Omar El Ghaziri and Christopher Pat. We don't actually have the names with us, but Christopher Pat does have that horse, and he might be a little bit worried, as Omar El Ghaziri only scored 840 points. Well, thankfully, it's not a scene we see too often, that a rider leaves the field in an ambulance. But it does go to show what a dangerous sport this is. And it's all very well us watching it on little small computer screens and television monitors around the world, but those horses are big things, and those fences are enormous. And these guys aren't playing at this. This is proper serious international sport. And one mistake can be very painful indeed. Well, the ambulance departs. And I think the injury is more of a facial injury. I think he hit his head against the side of the obstacle. And that's what put paid to his participation in this event. So now, we're a little bit behind time here. So the next athlete from France, Christopher Pat, who took a bronze medal at the last World Cup event in Rostov, Russia, in superb style, and he is an electric runner. It will be very, very interesting to see what happens. If he can have a good round here, he will be a real danger. Already just 44 seconds behind the leader going into this. And that's a bad start. Now remember, this horse had a terrible time first time out with Omar Al Jaziri. Just knocked a lot of fences down. And Pat is not the most experienced rider around by any means. Well, got over it. Doesn't matter how, as long as you can get over it and you're clear. That's all that matters. The horse doesn't want to go. That might count as a refusal. Nope, I think too far away from the fence. Those were very important 3 fences to get over. That's quite a difficult combination if you're not in full control of the horse. And Pat, so far, 40 points. That's 10 seconds he's lost. And it might seem strange to say this, but he will be happy with this. Just the final 3 fences to go. The triple combination. The horse doesn't want to. Oh, that is a great round for Christopher Pat. That really is a round beyond his years. The youngster from France had real troubles there with the horse. And he kept a very cool head indeed. And well done to him. And yes, I did call it correct earlier on, where unfortunately that earlier incident with the horse does count as a technical refusal. And I must be learning something with this riding. But that's hit him by another 40 points and another 10 seconds. So now he's 1 minute and 4 seconds behind. And that hurts quite badly. Just one awkward turn that went the wrong way may have cost Christopher Pat a chance of a medal. But it's still early days. There's plenty to come yet. And next up, from Russia, the 2008 world champion, Ilya Frolov. Also winner of World Cup #1 in Charlotte, North Carolina earlier this year. And a man who himself is no slouch when it comes to the combined events. So a very interesting character. And he will be eyeing up a podium finish here and a second world championship possibly. There's a lot of very fast runners just further down the field, and Frolov is certainly one of them. In fact, just looking at the other riders to come, I would actually say that I think Frolov's the fastest out of everybody from him above. So a clear round here will really make things interesting. First fence down, that awkward one. And now another, and another. And suddenly, 3 fences in a row. And Frolov drops down. And you see there's a gap now between Frolov and Woodbridge. 8th and 9th, 20 seconds between them. And another 20, and Frolov drops further down. And actually Benedetti goes above him. That's incredible how the riding can change things. And that's not a good round for Ilya Frolov. 5 fences down out of the 15 on the course. And he's dropped 100 points, which turns into 25 seconds. And from being 41 seconds behind the leader, now, well, the worst case scenario is 1 minute and 6. And incredibly, Han from China, now Han from China just dropped 2 fences down, and he was in 15th he was the 15th rider to go. So he was in 22nd place. He's actually above Frolov. Can you believe that? And in fact, Prokopenko, who was in 20th place, is now in 11th. That's quite amazing. So next man up from Great Britain, and what a day they had yesterday in the women's event. Can it be the same in the men's? The hopes are on Nick Woodbridge. James Cook is too far down the field. Nick Woodbridge is pointing the wrong way. Yes, the judges are over that side, Nick. I think he did an acknowledgement both ways just to make sure there, because that is definitely a penalty if you don't acknowledge the judges at the start. And Nick is straight into his ride. Now, Nick is a good rider, but as anybody in pentathlon has had some bad memories. I remember him at the 2009 World Championships on home soil, Crystal Palace. He was leading the way by a good distance, had a great fence, is a top swimmer, and then the ride was a disaster. He was unseated, the horse was on its rear legs trying to shake him off, and it really was a bad day for Woodbridge. Just the one fence down so far. And there's a 20-second gap between Woodbridge and the next man, David Svoboda. So there's a significant gap there. Woodbridge will really be wanting to just get round this rest of this course with no more fences down. That was tight, but he managed. 3 to go. Second one has given problems, but not here. And he's done it. Nick Woodbridge for Great Britain. Just the 20 penalty points. Only 5 seconds dropped. And he is in a good position here. He'll be happy with that for sure. 36 seconds behind the leader. And Nick Woodbridge just has 20 penalty points. And he's going to be a happy man, for sure. They like their loudspeaker systems around here, that's for sure. No chance of not hearing our MC for the day. And here's Hwang Woo-jin of Korea, who the horse in the previous round dropped 72 points. There were time penalties as well. So I think he would will have his heart in his mouth a little bit on here. The Koreans aren't the best riders around. We know that. They find it very hard to get time in the saddle for practicing. And you can see the full leaderboard there for the first time now. So this is exactly how it stands. And there's the first fence down for Hwang. This horse, as I said a minute ago, just shipped 72 points on its first round. So is one of those horses that requires a bit of love and attention and some skill on the riding side of things. Oh, that was all wrong. Something went very wrong there on that jump. And Hwang drops below Woodbridge, so Woodbridge gains a place. Final 3 fences. And 60 penalty points for Hwang Woo-jin of Korea. Now, the Koreans are always incredibly good with the shooting side of things. But possibly running is not one of his best attributes for modern pentathlon. And he's going to have it all on to be challenging by the end of the day. So just 6 more riders to go. And while we take our breath, what a day was it yesterday. It was quite incredible to see how that day progressed. And Amelie Karsé having real trouble in the field. She's still got work to do on her fitness. And it was interesting chatting to Stephanie Cook, the 2000 Athens Games Olympic gold medalist. And she was quite confused, it had to be said. That she felt that here's Pierpaolo Petroni. Stephanie Cook certainly felt that Karsé looked very strong in the swim and just couldn't stand why she was gasping for air so much with the run. And no doubt that Karsé does have a bit of time between now and the Olympics to work on that, because that is her only weak area. There's no doubt about it. She was pretty dominant in every other area. But as we've seen with pentathlon, you cannot be weak in a single area. One area of weakness means your chances are virtually nil. It's very rare we see that rule broken. I remember James Cook winning the World Junior Championship after 29th place in the fence. Here's Pierpaolo Petroni. He's the top Italian here today. And clear so far. And this man is no slouch when it comes to the run as well. He's he's the slowest of the 3 Italians, but I'll say now that doesn't really say much when you've got Riccardo De Luca and Nicola Benedetti in your squad. He's still going to be a real challenger for medals. And there's the second fence down. And Petroni also drops below Woodbridge. So Woodbridge currently gained 2 places here at the top of the leaderboard. And another. And a few groans from the crowd. They're fiercely patriotic here, the Italians. They really want to see. And the first fence was down there, although we couldn't see it on camera. And 4 fences down for Pierpaolo Petroni, and he's dropped away a little bit there. 47 seconds behind the leader will be his worst case scenario. And of course, if Amr El Jaziri does drop points, then everybody else will move up. So Pierpaolo Petroni leaves the arena. I hope you're enjoying our live coverage here on pentathlon.org. In the chat room, do keep talking there. If some of you have got lag on your stream, just to let you know, it's possibly your download. But do just try stop starting or refreshing if you want to catch up. So the next man up, and we're getting into the final few now. Pavel Ilyushenko, 5th place after 2 events. Ilyushenko was 3rd in the fencing and 24th in the swimming. And is pretty much an unknown quality here in terms of the combined event. I don't think we've ever seen him so highly placed when it comes to the latter stages. And here we are with the best field we've seen for quite a few years. And he's up there in 5th place after 2 events. Just the 1 fence down so far from Ilyushenko. That was pretty close, but over. And the first of that combination came down as well. just starting to mist over a little bit, so the sun's gone in. It's getting quite hot and humid. I've got a feeling there could be a thunderstorm on the way. I hope we miss it. Oh, well, that was rider error for sure. That horse was far too close to the fence. Total misjudgment. So, 4 fences down, and Ilyushenko drops further down the field, and he's straight out of the course without even waving goodbye to the officials. Some of them do that. I don't think you get penalised for not doing it, so he's okay. But Pavel Ilyushenko drops down to 7th place. And all the athletes below him will be happy. Here's Jung Jinhua of Korea on the same horse that Han Jia-hao of China had, and only 1 fence was down from Han. So I think Jung is going into this ride with his hopes high. Next up is Alex Lesson. In fact, Lesson will be in the riding warm-up area, and he will have a good idea how that horse is going for him. I know we saw some problems in the first round. Now, a lot of the Koreans are very gentle with their horses. And you can see here, Jung Jinhua is not pushing this horse at all. There could well be time penalties here, but he's happy for it to go at its own pace. He's not going to push it on, and so far, he's clear. And as Eli Bramer has said on a few occasions, sometimes it's actually a good tactic just to accept you're going to get some time penalties rather than pushing the horse and guaranteeing that you're going to get a few fences down. Quite a small horse, this one. But one that likes to jump well, as we saw in the first round with Han. This is what pentathletes call a dream horse. And it's done a dream job for Jung Jinhua of Korea, whose arms are in the air. It's his second clear round all day for Jung Jinhua. And he gives another long distance nod towards the officials. He wants to get out of there as quickly as possible. And Jung Jinhua of Korea has a great round under his belt. He's going to be very happy because currently, with 3 riders to go, he's leading. Now, next man in. And I think a concerned man here, Alexander Lesson of Russia, the world number 1. And this horse was with Jean-Max Barrou of France. Ended up with 1,048 points, so dropped 152 points. And Alex Lesson will say himself that riding is his weakest event. He's not happy on the horse. He needs more time. This could be a round that determines the gold medal. If Lesson can be clear, he's got a great chance. Only 9 seconds behind Amro Gaziri. And very, very good at the combined event. First is clear. Second and third. This horse is not going to have any time penalties. In fact, we didn't see time penalties on the last round, which is incredible. I really expected to see some there. Certainly not going to be any here. And first fence down. Rattled that one and got away with it. Deep cups on that one. Over the problem fence on 6. Now the combination. 2 down there. And another one. So 80 points so far dropped for Alex Lesson. He could still be in with a great chance. He just needs to get over here. He could possibly even drop another 20 if need be. He just needs to limit the damage. Still 29 seconds behind the leader. He's in within range. Oh, over this combination well. And over the last. And Alex Lesson, strangely enough, will be happy with that. Jean-Max Barou dropped. You see Kaplanov having a few harsh words with him. He's certainly not shy to give out his advice, the Russian manager. And Alex Lesson completes and goes out 1,120 points for Alexander Lesson. And here comes Andrei Moiseev, and I think Andrei Moiseev might be in a good place here. The double Olympic champion, the world and European champion. This horse had a clear round with Mikhail Prokopenko, one of only 2 clear rounds we've seen today. So Moiseev really is in a good place. He won the fencing, equal with Alex Lesson, and was 13th in the swimming. So this is going to be a fascinating ride. Moiseev does not have the best combined event in him. He needs to limit the damage here. We saw in Russia he was being overtaken by a number of athletes. He's only 6 seconds behind El Jaziri. Let's see how he goes. This horse was clear, remember, in the first round, which is always a good sign, and is definitely a jumper. And somebody of Moiseev's experience will have already worked out what makes this horse tick. And no problems at all. Oh, slight misjudgment there, and the horse nearly stalled. We're seeing a true legend of the sport. The current world champion, of course. He's defending his title here that he won in Moscow last year. And he will be very happy. This horse, well, we've seen one dream horse, and I think we have another one here. But don't make no mistake, Andrei Moiseev is a tremendous horseman. And this is a great combination for him to have to look to defend his world title, because he's gone clear. Great stuff from Andrei Moiseev. A clear round. He will be in second place and could even be leading. There's one rider to go, Amr El Ghaziri, and the double Olympic champion, Andrei Moiseev, departs the arena. Absolutely superb performance. So here we go with our final athlete, the leader of the competition, Amro El Ghaziri. First after 2 events, came 4th in the fencing and 2nd in the swimming. What a great performance that is. And this horse with Stefan Kollner just had 1 fence down previously. So this is a great opportunity for Amro El Ghaziri. Egyptians are not the best riders. Of course, they do have real trouble getting time on the horse, which is something some of the other countries don't have. But these guys, incredible experience, incredible ability. That was quite a fast jump there, and El Ghaziri just had to slow the horse down a little bit. He was just getting carried away there. Here's the problem fence. No problem whatsoever. And we've just seen a clear round from Moisev. There's the fence down, and 2. And Moisev now takes the lead. Well done, Amro. He really has been in superb form. 3 fences to go. Oh, that one jumped up and down, but it went down in the end. El Ghaziri looks behind him to see if it did go, and it certainly did. So that's 3 down. And Amro El Ghaziri will set off in second place, just 9 seconds behind. And look at that list there. It's quite a spread out field. It's going to be very interesting indeed. Well, that's quite something. We're just waiting for the official results coming from the from our software systems, who are in a different place at the moment. We're just waiting for some information from them. But we will bring you that as soon as we have it. So here are the riding results, and you can see that Prokopenko, Jung and Moisev going clear. And we're going to have a very, very interesting combined event. We'll just have a look down these other pages, and then we'll take you to the page that you really want to see, which is how they will start the combined event. Pate and Lesson dropping 80 points apiece. They're certainly in contention for medals here. They really want to be too far down the list. And, well, let's have a look what really matters now. And this is the overall details.
Okay, so whatever he says goes on the satellite. Okay.
We'll take you back to this morning at the start of the day, very early on. 36 of the world's best all-round athletes going head-to-head. To start off with, 3.5 hours of solid competition. Really strong field here. 4 top Russians, and in fact, a number of other really top stars of the sport. We had some great action yesterday with the women's event. And here is a really good start. Andrei Moiseev, the double Olympic champion, reigning world champion, up against 2008 world champion Ilya Frolov. And Frolov there getting the touch. A great start for him. Here's another top battle between 2 top Russians. Lesson versus Karyakin. Lesson, the world number 1. Karyakin, the 2010 world champion. This is what's called the friendly bout, when the people from the same countries all face off against each other. And Lesson actually goes off the piece there as Karyakin got the touch, and a victory for Karyakin. Here's the next bout, Lesson versus Frolov. We're packing all the bouts in for you here to watch. They actually fight for nearly 3 hours solid. This is a really top battle. Lesson, very interesting, unique style. And there he got the wrist touch. Frolov can't believe it. The 2008 world champion is beaten by the world number 1, and Lesson is something special when it comes to the fencing event. Here's Lesson again up against double Olympic champion and reigning world and European champion Andrei Moiseev, who's an absolute legend of the sport. He's going for 3 Olympic Games gold medals. A quite unique achievement in this sport. Oh, and as Moiseev came in for the attack, Lesson went down low and picked off Moiseev absolutely beautifully. Here's Karyakin and Frolov, all Russian encounters at the moment, here on our main TV piece. Frolov comes in for the attack and sees both lights lit. Double hit, we have to go again. Frolov tries the same maneuver, but it's Karyakin who gets the victory. And Frolov has to smile. Stefan Kollner of Germany on the left. Adam Morosi, the 2009 world champion, on the right. Morosi, a lot of pressure on him. He's really had a lot of trouble in the past year or so. And he takes that victory against Kollner, Dolph Borman and Robert Kaza. 3 all in head-to-heads between these two. So one of those real 50-50 bouts, you could say. Kaza, the World Cup final winner from 2011. And it's Kaza who gets the victory. He's having a bad day out there at the moment. Things really haven't gone his way, but a victory like that will help a lot. Justinas Kindris of Lithuania on the left. Hong Jin-woo of Korea on the right. About 5 or 6 rounds gone by the time we get to this fence. Kindris, his distinctive green trainers. He always likes to wear those in competition. So Kindris and Hong Jin-woo of Korea. And, well, Hong Jin-woo came in with an attack from way too far out. And, well, you could see there he was on 0-3. Here's James Cook on the left, the world junior champion. Riccardo De Luca, the Italian. Cook really having a bad time of it at the moment with the fencing. Not having a good time at all. And he really does look a little out of place with the fencing. He's still got so much to learn. It's a very weak event for him. Riccardo De Luca. Oh, well, De Luca came in for the attack and Cook managed to pick him off. And that's a rare victory for James Cook. Not having a good time at all in the fencing. Nick Woodbridge and Pierpaolo Petroni here on our piste. And Nick Woodbridge has had a great start to the morning. There you can see he's actually in first place with a 6-1 record. Only lost one so far. Pierpaolo Petroni in 16th place. The Italians fiercely patriotic, really cheering on their athletes. And of course the British, oh, what a touch from Nick Woodbridge. He saw that Petroni was just relaxing a little bit and had just switched off. Petroni knows that. Petroni came in for the attack, laid back, and Woodbridge took the opportunity. Here's Stefan Koner and Mikhail Prokopenko. Prokopenko high up the leaderboard at the moment. And that's a double hit. These two have 1 minute to gain a touch. And if nobody scores a touch in that minute, then it's a null scoring contest. Doesn't happen very often. Oh, and Koner furious there. He had a great opportunity to hit Prokopenko and missed out totally. Here we go again, the clock winding down. And Prokopenko gets the victory. And here are the fencing results. Moiseev and Lesson winning. Ilyashenko with El Jaziri and Benedetti incredibly finishing fourth. Benedetti is usually an athlete that finishes on the last page of the leaderboard. And to finish fourth means he's going to be a real threat for later on. Nick Woodbridge at one stage was in first place, as you saw, dropped down to 15th, as was Prokopenko, highly placed, finishing in 10th. There's page 3, Riccardo De Luca and Adam Morosi finishing lower down than I think I've seen for a long, long time. And the final page on the fencing, Sergei Karyakin, the world champion from 2010, finishing well down, not having a good day. And look at Robert Kaza, who was the World Cup final winner, actually second from last. Well, the athletes went to the swimming venue afterwards. So after 3 hours of fencing, everybody was aching, bones were very tired. And then the athletes have to go and do a 200-meter swim. The conditions were baking hot out there. Very, very tough conditions indeed. And the athletes have a 200-meter race. They have a 200 meter freestyle race, and the times that they achieve will give them the pentathlon points that count towards their total at the end of the day. I think the athletes were very happy to cool down in the water here. Just relax a little bit and cool down. There was a lot of support for Italy as Nicola Benedetti came out, finishing 4th in the fencing. But this is the slowest heat. And Benedetti certainly not one of the strongest athletes at all when it comes to the swimming event. So no doubt he... Thomas Daniel there in lane 4 in the middle, pushing away. Thomas Daniel, one of the athletes who's yet to qualify for the Olympic Games. And Daniel comes in. You see Nicola Benedetti up at the top in lane 2. A good finish in the swim, in the fence. But not so good in the swim today. As Thomas Daniel wins, Stefan Kollner in second place in lane 5. But these are the slowest swimmers in the group. And that means that these athletes will all finish in the lower reaches of the swimming table. Here's heat number 2. The athletes getting faster and faster. And all eyes on lane 4, Ilya Frolov, who finished 8th in the fencing, and also Pavel Ilyashenko, who was 3rd in the fencing in lane 5. Frolov pushing hard. And in the black cap, Frolov leading with Dmytro Kopolyansky in lane 3 in the silver cap, right on his tail. A really good crowd here watching this swimming event, really enjoying the atmosphere. Frolov pushing away really well and actually coming under some big, taking 3rd place in that second heat. But again, these athletes will all finish down in the low 20s, the mid to low 20s in the overall swimming table. Here's the middle heat of the 5, heat number 3. And in this heat, we saw Alexander Lesson in lane 4. And he's with the blue cap and leading very well indeed. David Svoboda in lane 3 putting under some pressure. And also Dmitry Blagoy of Bulgaria. Well, Lesson turned in first place and was coming under some severe pressure towards the end. Lesson with the blue cap. And Svoboda, in fact, Lesson really struggling there in the end, finishing in 3rd place as Svoboda finished very strongly indeed. And Svoboda winning that heat. There was Edvinas Krungolsas there of Lithuania, 39 years old, the oldest man in pentathlon. This is heat number 4. And all eyes on lane 2, Andrei Moisev, who was 2nd in the fencing, and also Jung Jinhwa of Korea, who was 6th in the fencing, and Pierpaolo Petroni of Italy, who was 7th. Pierpaolo Petroni in lane 6, Moisev in lane 2, right at the top of the screen, and Jung Jinhwa in lane 4. So off they go. Here we come in for here's the finish, and that was a strong swim there from Jung Jinhwa, who finished 6th in the fencing. Certainly would have done his opportunities a lot of good for later on in the day with that strong swim. So here we go with heat number 5, the 5th and final heat. These are all the fastest athletes in the competition. And looking out for James Cook in the centre heat. And Amro El Jaziri, James Cook, the world record holder with the blue cap. and Amro Jaziri just nearer the camera with the white cap, both pushing each other very, very hard indeed. And as they come in for the final sprint, long distance shot there, beautiful arena, a giant pentathlete there in her swimming costume. They turn at the far end, and this is a big sprint in with James Cook and Amr El Jaziri having a really big battle coming down the home straight. Cook leading, but El Jaziri, you can see he's increased his stroke rate, really pushing very, very hard indeed. And I'm sure at one stage El Jaziri here actually overtakes Cook, but it's all down to the touch, and Cook just gets it by 18/100th of a second. Amr El Jaziri, who's never beaten Cook in the swimming event, just hits his fist onto the platform. So that completes the swimming, and all the athletes head off. And here are the swimming results. There you see, just 19/100ths of a second between Cook and El Jaziri. Woodbridge in third, Han in fourth. Great performance from Han there. And Jung Jinghua, who was in the earlier heat, actually finished in fifth. Sergei Karyakin having a good swim, making up some points he lost in the fence. And page 2 of the leaderboard, Andrei Moiseev there, keeping himself well in contention, winning the fencing and coming in 13th on the swim. Nicola Benedetti, you see there, who finished fourth in the fence, second from last in the swim, and that will drop him down the field. After 2 events, El Jaziri leads, Moiseev second, Lesson third. Some real big names on that leaderboard. And don't discount anybody on page 2 as well. Some really big names there. Benedetti in 17th, only 56 seconds behind the leader. He's going to have an excellent opportunity. One of the fastest men in the field when it comes to a combined event. It's going to be very interesting indeed. Karyakin in 27th place. The 2010 world champion probably has lost his chances. And certainly everybody on this page, their hopes are dashed of a world title for 2012. Well, we're all back live here on the webcast, and I'm just letting you know that we had to show this information because we were live with the international TV output. But what we're going to do now is show you about 10 or so minutes of fencing and then a bit of swimming from earlier on, and we'll then be back for the combined event very shortly. So enjoy this. This is some of the fencing followed by swimming from earlier today. And Esteban Bustos gets the victory. Oh, he is a happy man. He's just taken a big scalp there. Second place on the leaderboard, Amo Jaziri. And Esteban Bustos, the youngster from Mexico, takes the win. So here we go. Pavel Ilyushenko, Kazakhstan on the left. Jean-Max Barou of France on the right. And Ilyushenko is currently in 9th place. No messing around there. Flash attack straight away. And Jean-Max Barou just couldn't respond quickly enough. On the left, Rustim Saburkazin of Kazakhstan, and on the right, Christopher Pat, who's currently in 2nd place in the fencing. So the Frenchman having a really good time of it this morning. Possibly buoyed with confidence after taking the bronze medal at the World Cup number 4 in Russia, which was the last time out for these top athletes on the World Tour. And Christopher Pat, who is a strong runner, will be a threat with a good fence here today. Oh, well, on the defensive, Saburkazin came in with a big attack. He has a little laugh because he was a little bit out of distance, wasn't he, really? I think even I saw that one coming, and Christopher Pat definitely had it very easy to deflect him away and take the victory. Morosi and some of the Russians coming up on our piste in a while. Here's Ilyushenko versus Pat. Pat having a great time of it at the moment. In fact, this is a top of the table clash. Ilyushenko currently in 9th place and coming in with a very strong attack there and beating Pat. Solid attack from Ilyushenko, and Pat frustrated with that defeat. Currently in 2nd place in the competition. Double Olympic champion Andrei Moisev of Russia, who's currently in 2nd place on the leaderboard. He really has come back to some incredible form after being in the wilderness for a couple of years coming into this. And then, oh, and a touch from Moisev so early on, and Barou was caught sleeping there on that bout. And Moisev gets the touch before there's just 3 seconds on the clock. But I'm sure that was in the 1st second. Andrei Moisev has a big smile on his face. He's, you don't see him smile too often, Mr. Moisev. He must have enjoyed that victory very much. This really is a big battle. The 2008 world champion on the left and the bronze medalist from World Cup number 4, Christopher Pat of France. They're 4 each in head-to-head, so this could be a very tight encounter. And Frolov in 9th place, Pat in 2nd place. And Christopher Pat, not known for his fencing, he's doing what Nicola Benedetti's doing further out in the field. He's going well above his usual level on the fencing. Christopher Pat also very strong in the combined event, so really making a move here for a potential medal. Some of these athletes, a flesh attack from Pat, but Frolov, superb defence. He's classically trained fencer, Ilya Frolov, and to be honest, that's just easy fodder for him when I think Pat really was a little bit out of space. He came in from too far out, and Frolov just saw the attack well early on. This really is a double pointer. 48 points at stake here, 24 points either way. And we've seen this so many times. These two could be finishing 2nd and 3rd, and this bout could decide where the medal goes. Moiseev leads 7-1 in head-to-heads between these two. So Moiseev is the big favourite for sure. But as you can see on the screen, they're both exactly second place. This really is a big battle. Oh, what an attack from Moiseev and Christopher Pat. Superb manoeuvre. They have a smile between them. Andrei Moiseev must be in a very good mood this morning. I've never seen him smile so much. And Christopher Pat, there's the clench of the fist towards his fans in the far side. All the coaches are watching from the distance. And what a win for Christopher Pat. That really is a significant victory for the Frenchman. On the left is Hwang Woo-jin of Korea. On the right, Amro El Jaziri of Egypt. Amro currently in second place here, so this is a top of the table clash. Both athletes in the top 9. Steve, come out. Amro El Jaziri, very good fencer, always at the top of the table at the end of the fencing event. Oh, and there's the attack from Hwang Woo-jin, and Amro El Jaziri was very ready for that manoeuvre, wasn't he? I think he's seen that one before, and Hwang Woo-jin will just put that one down to experience. And Amro El Jaziri, currently second place on the leaderboard, consolidates that position. Nicola Benedetti of Italy, with just one round to go, currently leads the competition. Quite incredible. And Omar El Ghaziri of Egypt is up against him. 15-6, Benedetti's current standings. We are a little bit behind on the results. Oh! Benedetti gets the victory. And he celebrates that one. Great win for the tall Italian. He's on a roll here. And is this Hungary all over again? Hwang Woo-jin on the left here from Korea, and Omar El Ghaziri of Egypt on the right. Both athletes. Oh, a beautiful foot touch from Hwang Woo-jin. Where did he get that one from? And Omar El Ghaziri has to commend him to say that was brilliant fencing. That was a really nice move there from Hwang Woo-jin. And superb sharpness this late in the day. They've been fencing for over 2.5 hours. And he's still got the sharpness to put a touch like that in. So here we go. On the left, the tall Italian, winner of World Cup number 3, Nicola Benedetti, who's got a losing record against Amro El Ghaziri of Egypt, but this is a first versus second clash here. El Ghaziri trying the foot touch, trying it again. Benedetti's ready for it. There's the move, and a victory for Egypt. That went Egypt's way. And Amro El Ghaziri fired up for that bout. He knows that Benedetti's on a roll here, and that was a big victory. But I think Benedetti will be very happy with the record he's got against himself here, even though he may have lost that bout. Quite pleased with that. Here we are on our main piece. It's Alexander Lesson and Adam Morosi, the world number 1 and number 2 athletes for modern pentathlon. And currently Lesson is first. Morosi, who's had some real troubles with his fencing of late, is having more troubles here today. Usually he's in the top 10. Currently he's in the bottom half of the leaderboard, 19th place. Morosi and Lesson both have very distinctive styles. And of course Lesson, when he first came to pentathlon, nobody could handle him. He's got a very unusual style. He hugs the right hand edge. He tries to get the épée in round the outside. And a lot of the athletes have learnt how to deal with that technique now. But it's still troublesome because it's not a very common technique that you see. And here we are. Morosi had a look at the board. Oh, wow. Well, Alex Lesson has to have a smile at that because
He came out of that like a cold spring. Really high energetic action and a flesh attack. That's a quite unusual manoeuvre from Alexander Lesson. And he's caught Adam Morosi by surprise there. But there's some real star-studded athletes here on this piste. The 2010 world champion Sergei Karyakin on the left, and on the right, the 2011 World Cup final winner at the Olympic test event in Greenwich Park, Robert Kaza. And look at that, both athletes way down the field. It's been a really bad day for both of these athletes. They're not known as the best fencers around. Karyakin actually finished 5th in the fencing in Russia just a few weeks ago in World Cup number 4. But both of them have had a torrid morning, and their chance of a medal really is very long. Oh, can't believe nobody got a touch there. That's amazing. Karyakin and Kaza, both well decorated. They've got gold medals in their lockers, and there was a double hit. 26 seconds to go. The 2010 world champion Karyakin, another double hit. The Italian flags are waving out in the distance as Benedetti gets another victory. This time over Esteban Bustos of Chile. Back on our main piste, and Karyakin gets the wrist touch just as Kaza came in. Karyakin was waiting for him, moved out the way and just got the touch on the wrist. And the Russians, it's not been a good day for Karyakin. I'm sure his coach will be having a few harsh words of him later. He doesn't tend to hold back in his team talks. I think he makes Alex Ferguson look like a walk in the park if you're a football fan. And Karyakin getting the victory. So Robert Kaza will stay on, and Alexander Lesson will swap, so the world number 1 against the World Cup final winner from last year. We really do have 4 highly decorated athletes here on our main piste. Oh, well, that was a pretty silent but smooth manoeuvre, and that's a typical Alexander Lesson victory. He doesn't do those flesh attacks like we saw against Morosi. It was just that little touch out, got the wrist touch, and the other, his opponent just didn't know what hit him. This is our final bout of the day here, our final bout of the competition. Sergei Karyakin, 2010 world champion, up against Adam Morosi, who has a slender lead on the head-to-heads. Karyakin really has had a tough time out there, currently in 33rd position. His chance of taking a medal here is slim. Oh, well, Moisev is absolutely distraught with that one. And, well, look at that. It just says it all. He really felt that today was going to be his day. He absolutely dominated in the qualifying. But it's really not gone right for him at all. And a victory for Sergei Karyakin, who's had a very bad day in the office today. One final victory. That could just give him a little push that he needs. So now we're finished here. We're going to move on to the swimming event. We won't be covering that live, of course. We will be filming that and giving you the highlights of that when we're live at 3 o'clock from the riding competition. Those are the scores as they stand. They will be updated very shortly from the computers once they start entering some results. We are actually a little bit behind because there's only 25 results there, and I'm going to go and ask the results man to press his buttons, and we'll be back shortly at 3 o'clock from a riding. We'll leave this on screen right now, Thanks for watching us, and goodbye for now.
Yes, now is a good moment for my fencing, and I don't know, today is so good, but I don't know for the competition.
Suddenly your fencing is brilliant. Last time in Hungary, you won easily, and because you said afterwards your fencing was so strong, it gave you a lot more points. Do you feel now in your heart that today it can be the same again?
Yes, in Hungary is easy, but today I'm sure is not easy, because another competition more important, and all athletes want to win, and sure today is not easy, but I don't know what's up.
Yeah. One final question. Ricardo De Luca also has done very well today, and he's finished on the first page high up. Is he a threat to you? I know he's Italian, so you're happy for him, but is he also a threat? Is he a danger to you, because he is also very fast at the combined?
Yes, I'm happy. I don't know how many points have Ricardo, but I'm happy, no problem. For me, is more important one Italian in top
The table.
table, and no problem. I don't have a problem.
Maybe Italy 1-2 today, perhaps?
I don't know.
We will see. Thank you very much for talking to us. Thank you. Thank you. There's a real atmosphere here for heat number 1 out of 5 at the Modern Pentathlon World Championships 2012. Nicola Benedetti in lane 2 at the top of the screen, 4th place in the fencing. There's real excitement about him. Rustim Saburkazin of Kazakhstan in 3. Thomas Daniel of Austria in 4. Stefan Kolner of Germany in 5. Mikhail Prokopenko of Belarus in 6. And in 7, towards the bottom of the screen, Delf Bormann of Germany. Turning first, lane 4, Thomas Daniel of Austria, chasing an Olympic place, but Nicola Benedetti's doing very well here. He's normally the slowest swimmer out of the whole competition, and he's currently had a great turn. He's in 2nd place at the moment. Had a superb fence, in 4th place in the fencing, and here he is in 2nd place here, and the crowd are really getting behind him. Nicola Benedetti, the tall Italian, this event is his weakest, but if he can just get as many points here as possible, he could be walking away with the World Championship gold. The halfway mark. Thomas Daniel turns first. In 2nd, it's in lane 6, Mikhail Prokopenko, who was 13th in the fencing. Thomas Daniel, who's leading, was 11th in the fencing. And Nicola Benedetti in lane 2 is 3rd, although I just see that Stefan Kolner, with the German flag on his silver cap, has just moved into 3rd place, and Benedetti started to tie up badly now as we come for the final turn. 50 to go here in this heat 1 out of 5, and it's Thomas Daniel of Austria who turns first. He was 11th in the fencing, and he's looking good here in his first heat, containing all the slowest swimmers. Lane 6, Mikhail Prokopenko, who was 13th in the fencing, is 2nd, and Stefan Kolner is making a big move in lane 5 as well. Nicola Benedetti, who was 4th in the fencing, is just dropping away badly. He started off strongly, but he's really struggling now. There's a bit of a chase on here. Thomas Daniel, who's led all the way, will win this first heat. And 2nd place, Stefan Kolner has a great... Well, we're going to leave things from the swimming because things are moving on very quickly here. So if you want to watch highlights from the swimming, do go to pentathlon.org. The highlights from the full swimming event will be available there very, very shortly indeed. Here is the leaderboard as it stands, with Moiseev leading from Al Jazeera Very, very tight indeed. And look down that list. You've got Jung Jinhua, Alex Lesson 23 seconds behind, Nick Woodbridge 30 seconds. This field, this trophy and championship could be anybody's. It really is a very, very open competition. It's going to be really interesting to see how this develops. And of course, I know a lot of you online are all looking at page 2 of the leaderboard, where Nicola Benedetti is only 55 seconds behind in second place. Really is going to be very, very interesting indeed. A few other names on that list as well. Christopher Patt is certainly not a slow person, is he? And he's going to be very interesting indeed to see how he does. Certainly a fast athlete at the combined event. Well, just going back to some of the action, and here's Amr Al Jaziri, who, as we saw there, he just had 2 fences down. 3 fences down, and in the end, he started 9 seconds behind Amr Al Jaziri. So we're back to live here. And this is how it stands at the top of the leaderboard. Andrei Moiseev, the world champion, the double Olympic champion, will start 9 seconds clear of Amr Al Jaziri, with Jung Jinhua of Korea 14 seconds behind. World number 1, Alexander Lesson, 23 seconds behind. And there's some real talent just further down there. It's going to be very, very interesting indeed. 2 minutes has been called out there. There's Moiseev shooting away. Moiseev getting some last shots in. Who's your money on? Who do you think will take this title? Well, the athletes are all starting to get ready. Benedetti 55 seconds behind. So all the athletes going back to the start line. This is the big one. There are 3 Olympic places up for grabs, which one of my assistants is going to come and tell me who's qualified after we get the finishing line. And I know on the chat room, there's it really is open. And I totally agree. I really can't call this one, because there are a number of athletes out there that just seem to be behind by about the sort of number of seconds that I would have actually said, crazy enough. So here we go. We're about a minute to go. Quick look. That's the leaderboard as it stands. Those are the top 9 athletes. And that's how they will set off here. And then there is page 2. It's going to be very interesting indeed. I think it's only athletes from these top 2 pages who have got a real chance of qualifying through. And this man, Andrei Moiseev, yet again, is going to set off with number 1 on his shirt. So, just an announcement has been made. Everybody's ready. The athletes are ready. The officials are ready. I think we're all ready here. We can't wait for this to start. What story in the history of modern pentathlon is about to be written? we've got the 2006 world champion, Edvinas Kungolsas, 2009 world champion, Adam Morosi, the 2010 world champion, Sergei Karyakin, and Andrei Moiseev, the 2011 world champion. We have a real stellar field here. It's the strongest field we've seen for a few years, have all gathered together for a very, very important world championship. They're getting ready to go, and Moiseev is away. Andrei Moiseev hits the field. These are very big moments. How will he shoot? He misses his first and his second. And already Amr El Jaziri is right next to him. 3 misses for Moiseev. And El Jaziri is right next to him. Amr El Jaziri straight away on him. Bad shooting from Moiseev to start with. The nerves have got to this experienced man. He's away 19 seconds. He missed 3 shots. The first 3 shots he missed. He then hit 5 out of 5. El Jaziri and Jung Jinhua. And Jung Jinhua waited 16 seconds. El Jaziri 20 seconds. And those two are both 10 seconds behind Moiseev. Alex Lesson, a 15-second shoot. Only 2 misses for him. He's away 17 seconds behind. And Jean-Max Barou having a tough time. He's not actually hit a single shot. He's having a terrible time there. Ilyashenko. And in fact, ignore Barou. There's an error on the system. But all the other athletes, there's Svoboda away 9 seconds. David Svoboda away in 9 seconds. Incredible shooting for Svoboda. And he goes away in 9th place. Ilyashenko, Petroni, Huang, Woodbridge behind. There goes Frolov, Kungolsas, and Benedetti's away. Benedetti didn't have the best shoot though. And Benedetti's in a bit of trouble there. I think he's gained about 10 seconds on Frolov. There is Moiseev. There goes Nobis into the distance. And Jean-Max Barou having some troubles. He's shooting there. But Andrei Moiseev, now he's not the strongest of runners out there. And Sebastian Dietz with Ava Troutman there. 2 pentathletes letting Moiseev know what sort of lead he has. There's Moiseev from Amr El Jaziri. Jung Jinhua just behind. Alexander Lesson in 4th. Still a few athletes actually shooting here. Omar El Jaziri, his brother, still shooting, and Jamie Kirk of Great Britain. They've had a tough time out there. But it's early days yet, and the heat is tough. And we saw what it did to Amelie Kaze yesterday. She really blew up badly in the 3rd heat. This is a long, hard course. These guys are running very straight runs. It's basically just a great big square that's around the back of this arena. And they run basically 3 times 300 meter lengths. And it's a very tough runner's course. Here comes Moiseev for shoot number 2. The pressure is on behind. Amr El Jaziri is into the arena, as is Jung Jinhua, and there they are shooting. And Lesson, the world number 1, joins as well. So Moiseev shoots. Moiseev away. Jung away as well, and Lesson is going to be chasing behind, and Lesson is right behind them. Amr El Jaziri not having a good time on the shoot, but he finally gets away in 4th place. So Adam Morosi just coming into the arena. I think some of the chances of some of these athletes have gone. Looking at Nicola Benedetti, who's the only one who's electric across the field. Woodbridge had a great shoot there. Nick Woodbridge away in 5th place. And there's Adam Morosi. That's brilliant shooting from Morosi. And it looks like Benedetti has got away as well. So we've really got a really interesting fight there. Benedetti, as you see, running away into the distance. Can he make up the distance here on Andrei Moiseev? I'm aware there's been a technical issue on the computer system, so we're able to bring you shots, but we're not able to bring you times or the lower third graphics, I'm afraid. But we can see what's happening on the screen, and that's most important, as Andrei Moiseev still leads. Now, what sort of lead does he have? Hopefully we're going to get a view of this very shortly, because El Jaziri and Jung Jin-Hwa were right after him. And the Koreans having a great time here. Already won 1 gold medal in a relay event. Moiseev working very, very hard indeed. Pushing hard. He's really worked so hard in the winter, toning himself up. Jung Jin-Hwa looks as if he's having a bit of trouble though. His running style is not his best. And Alex Lesson will certainly be looking down at... in fact, Lesson is just behind Jung Jin-Hwa there. And Lesson is going to overtake the Korean. Moiseev leads. Jung Jin-Hwa is certainly in trouble now. And Alex Lesson is putting on the sprint. But there looks to be, looking 4th place, Amr El Jaziri in 4th. And then it looks as if we've got a fair gap to the 5th. So it looks like the medals are going to be between these 4 athletes. Moiseev, Lesson, Jung Jin-Hwa and Amr El Jaziri. It looks as if the gold, silver, bronze are going to be between these. And look at back in 5th place. Nicola Benedetti is eating the ground up. Incredible running from the Italian. He is running very hard. And Andrei Moiseev is breathing hard. Andrei Moiseev is sucking the air in badly. He looks as if he's having a bit of trouble out there. We saw Amelie Kaze blow up yesterday. Could Andrei Moiseev be having similar trouble? Alex Lesson looks very comfortable. He looks as if he can maintain that pace for forever. But Andrei Moiseev looking in trouble, and Lesson is right behind him. We could see the lead change hands here. Jung Jin-Hwa in big trouble looking behind him. I think Jung Jin-Hwa is only going to go backwards here. But they come in for the 3rd and final shoot. There's Amr El Jaziri in the distance. And the big question could be, where is Benedetti? Benedetti can eat about 20-25 seconds over 1 kilometre. We've seen that before. Moiseev has won, and Lesson is with him. Moiseev and Lesson are neck and neck. There's big cheers in the arena for Benedetti, who just enters. And Lesson and Moiseev both miss. Benedetti needs to shoot amazingly. Moiseev gets away, and Lesson is right behind him. And Jung Jin-Hwa could have the bronze medal in his grasp, because nobody is close. Amr El Jaziri, when it matters in the 3rd shoot, is just not producing. Benedetti's having trouble as well. Benedetti is missing far too many. And Adam Morosi gets away. Unbelievable. From so far down, Adam Morosi is chasing for 3rd. Jung Jin-Hwa's having trouble. And it's a road race now between Andrei Moiseev and Alexander Lesson for the gold medal. What's going to happen here? The Russia 1-2, and there's Jung Jin-Hwa, who seems to have got a little bit of extra boost in his legs now, and Jung Jin-Hwa may well chase them down. This is the battle for gold. Moiseev, Lesson, Jung. 2 Russians and a Korean, and Lesson is coming up on Moiseev's shoulder. It's Kaplanov, the Russian coach, is even running. He's that excited. You've got to feel that this one could be Lessons all the way through here. He's right on Moiseev's shoulder. Jung Jin-Hwa looks as if he's hit the wall now. His running style, he's dropping back. Lesson is right with Moiseev. The world title is at stake. Lesson has never won the world title. Moiseev, the defending world champion. And Lesson overtakes Moiseev on the outside. He's confident. Moiseev is breathing heavily. And it looks as if Moiseev's head has gone down. And Lesson might well take this world title here. He looks back to see how Lesson is, Tal Mosev is, Omar Al Jazeeri here is allowing he's been lapped. And Jung Jinhua in third place. It's been a bad day for Omar Al Jazeeri, but it's a fantastic day for Lesson. And Nicola Benedetti is running hard, but it looks as if he's not going to make it into the medals. Lesson is pushing hard. They really are sprinting fast now. And Moisev has found some extra boost. Moisev and Lesson having a real push here. Jung Jinhua also. And we've got a German athlete in fourth place. I think that's Stefan Korner in fourth. But Alexander Lesson really working hard. And Moisev is gritting his teeth for world number one. World Cup number 2 winner from Brazil. Looks round and he sees Moisev is powering towards him. This is going to be a great victory. Russia are going to take first and second place. And the world champion for 2012 is going to be Alexander Lesson. What a superb performance. Lesson is the world champion. What a race. And Andrei Moisev, unbelievably, gets the silver medal. And Jung Jinhua for Korea takes bronze. And from 15th place, oh, that's an incredible. Is that Stefan Korner? Well, Nicola Benedetti gets 5th. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely unbelievable performance. And the locals are obviously looking at Nicola Benedetti, but all eyes on Alexander Lesson. Absolutely unbelievable performance. And Stefan Korner came from 15th place to take 4th. Absolutely superb. Well, what a race. And yes, Omar Al Jazeeri is still finishing the second lap. Omar Al Jazeeri is still shooting. So he's not been lapped once, he's been lapped twice. Well, you've got to say a word for Jung Jinhua. Korea have taken their first ever World Championship medal. Absolutely superb performance. There's a big hug there from Ilya Frolov, the 2008 World Champion. And a superb performance. Russia 1-2. They really are dominating men's modern pentathlon at the moment. And, well, Lesson is going to go and have his... so, we need to... yes. Well done, Alex Lesson. Well, we do need to talk to these athletes. And so we may go quiet for a short while we just set up a quick interview here. We're gonna try and do a quick interview in the background. But what a wonderful performance. And we need to find out which athletes have qualified for the Olympics. I've got a feeling that Lesson possibly already had qualified. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure he had. There's some hugs for family members. So Alexander Lesson, the world champion. Absolutely incredible display from him. And there are still athletes out in the field. So we're still waiting for some details to come through. There's still one athlete actually out in the field, Omar Al Jazeeri, who's had a very tough time out there. He's going to finish off, which you've really got to hand it to him. It's been an incredible performance.
So there's the gold, silver and bronze confirmed on the results system. Alex Lesson takes gold. Andrei Moisev for Russia, silver. And Jung Jin-hwa of Korea takes the bronze. Here comes Omar Al Jaziri home. And well done, Omar Al Jaziri. He's had a really tough time of it. He was very, very disappointed earlier today. And looked very down in the depths. But he's really had one of those terrible, terrible days. Everything went wrong. Well, what a performance from Alexander Lesson. But looking further down the field, Stefan Kolner. Incredible performance, overtaking Nicola Benedetti from 15th to 4th. And I think his Olympic qualification has been sealed. And Benedetti finishing 5th. Morosi was certainly up there as well. And, well, we're going to be having what's called the flower ceremony. Currently there's a few kids having a play on it at the moment. Maybe security needs to be called to clear them out of the way. But we are going to have a quick ceremony, I believe, before we close the event. Well, we've had a thoroughly enjoyable week here with relay events and, of course, the individual events towards the end of the week. A great performance. 2 British medals in the women's events yesterday, 2 Russian medals in the men's today. And it's been a wonderful, wonderful week here at the Modern Pentathlon World Championships. We will get the official results to you as soon as we have them. But the gold, silver, bronze is, as you see on the screen, is very, very clear indeed. And that was pretty dramatic stuff out there, wasn't it? The Russians are in an incredible situation. They have 4 athletes and only 2 to choose for the Olympic Games. Ilya Frolov, the 2008 world champion, winner from World Cup number 1 in Charlotte, North Carolina, United States this year. And also a habitual top 10 finisher. Then we have Alex Lesson, who is now the world champion. He won World Cup number 2 in Brazil and is really in the form of his life for world number 1. Then you've got Andrei Moisev, the double Olympic champion, no longer the current world champion, but 2011 world champion and world silver medalist here today, who's also in some incredible form. And finally, Sergei Karyakin, who unfortunately looks to be the least favourite of the 4 options. His form today was certainly down the field a little bit. The 2010 world champion has been a real star for sport, but looks as if he is going to be dropping out. So for the Russians at the moment, it's 2 out of 3. And well, on form, how can you drop Lesson? He won World Cup number 2 by an absolute mile in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And here today, he's had a fantastic result. Well, we're just trying to get the athletes together, but it's quite chaotic out there. I think the Russians have gone absolutely crazy. Lesson has left the building and disappeared somewhere. I think they're all doing some interviews in Russian. And it looks like we're not going to be able to get the medal ceremony away in time before we lose our feed on the international satellite. So it looks like we're going to wrap up here, I'm afraid. But what a great day we've had, and what a brilliant finish. Alexander Lesson taking the gold, his first world title. And Andrei Moisev of Russia, what can you say about this man? He really put it in on that final 200 metres. He wasn't giving up at all, was he? He was really pushing very, very hard. And he gave Lesson a run for his money in those final few hundred metres as well. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens at the Olympic Games. Big message as well for Jung Jin-hwa of Korea. Incredible to have a Korean athlete winning the bronze medal in the biggest event on the pentathlon calendar. First time. Yeah, certainly one for the future. That's for sure. And also, you've got to give a big message for Stefan Kollner of Germany. Not many people go past Nicola Benedetti on a combined event, and that man, I think, has just sealed his qualification for the Olympic Games. That's for sure. Because Moisev had already sealed qualification. I think Jung hadn't qualified, and Kollner, and I don't know what the third place one is yet, but we will try and get that in due course. All the highlights and replays of the event are on pentathlon.org. And we're going to try and get a few interviews on our live webcast right now. Thanks for watching. We're pretty sure Kollner and Benedetti are the two athletes. And Svoboda, Jung had already qualified. So David Svoboda has made it through to qualification. And I think we're now going to go and get a few interviews out there. I think our international television feed has ended. And we're now going to try and get a few interviews here live on pentathlon.org. Please bear with us. Well, I've just been given some information that apparently there's going to be a fair delay. There's a few checks with results, and also there's going to be a press conference. So there's going to be a long delay, possibly 45 minutes, even longer. So there's no point keeping you hanging on here on the webcast, because I know you all love chatting on the chat room, and I love watching you. But in fact, I'm having a quick look at the. Well, I'm just having a little look at the chat room, and yeah, I'm not sure if Lesson had qualified. I think Lesson had got. I think Lesson had actually finished in the silver medal spot in the 2010 games. So, as in fact, Dennis has just said that. Why don't I just read the chat and be educated as to what's happening? So, yes, Lesson got a second at the Worlds last year, so his qualification was already there. So Benedetti, Kollner, and Svoboda
And that's big news for David Svoboda for sure. You've got to feel sorry for a few of the athletes who just missed out. Amr El Jaziri just finished outside there, but the points he will get for that placing will surely make him a favourite to get through the ranking, which is the final chance for athletes to get a qualification spot for the Olympic Games. Well, we are going to close the webcast now, and we thank you very much for watching this action. We hope you've really enjoyed it. It's been very, very exciting indeed. And it's great to see so many people on the chat talking about modern pentathlon. It really is certainly very, very interesting to see so many people from around the world. Yes, you can see the recording. If you go to pentathlon.org, they have their own YouTube channel. And in fact, you can watch all the highlights from yesterday are now available online in full. And tonight's action will be available overnight. So first thing tomorrow morning, you will be able to watch all this action. In fact, I believe the fencing and swimming are already up there. And it's just the riding and combined that needs to go. We don't have any news on Ismael Hernandez, do we? Okay. Well, the story from Ismael Hernandez is he lost a tooth in the process and had concussion, which is why they had to take him to hospital. But he is okay, but they just took him to hospital as a precaution. So that's your information. The results will be updated on pentathlon.org. I'm actually in the same room as all the officials behind me who are all looking at sheets of paper and just checking that the results that are printed out are correct. So I know there was an issue with target number 29 at one stage, which certainly upset a few things on our graphics system. Thankfully, we were able to ignore times and just carry on. But it's great to see you all in the chat. And we're going to do it all again in a couple of weeks, of course. We're going to be live from China. And we hope to get as much live to you as possible. We do aim to try and get our web stream up and running for the fence and swim. And it could be the first webcast we've ever done where we're going to be live all day. That's the plan at the moment. But we'll see if what can happen. My name's Adrian Battersby, and this is a 247.tv production. We're here working on behalf of the UIPM and pentathlon.org. All the replays will be available online on pentathlon.org very, very shortly. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now.